Become a relevant youth. BARY.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from any part of the world that you're watching us from. I welcome you to this special episode of BARY with Femi. Now, BARY stands for Become a Relevant Youth, and I'm so excited because today I have with me my wife who will be anchoring this episode with me. My name is Femi Ikoto, and my wife
Adiola Ikoto.
And together we will be your host today and to pack into you some vital information and knowledge that would make a whole lot of difference in your life. Our vision is to inspire young people to discover purpose on time so as to become relevant agents of change in this world for God's glory.
Become a relevant youth. BARY.
Welcome back. Before we go on, I want to ask Sadi to give us a view on what we've done in the last few months. I mean, we've had 12 episodes where we've been talking to young people on the need to discover purpose and time and how to become relevant in life. So Adi, what's your view? What do you think? What have you learned so far, and how do you think this is impacting people around the world?
Yeah, it's been amazing. It's been like an amazing journey. From the first episode till the 12th episode, it's been like very inspiring. It's been, and I know you've been blessed too. Obviously, it's been a great experience. Yeah.
Thank you. All right. So, what we plan to do today is to discuss some of the things we've been talking about in the last 12 weeks, which has to do with the 12 episodes. And apparently we've talked about 3 different topics which have been in series of 4 episodes. So today we'll be talking about the first 4 episodes, which simply talks about the youthful season, the importance of the youthful season, and the fact that youthful season is the foundation of their future, and why they should really invest in developing their youthful season. And
so it's like summarizing like everything you've talked about from episode 1 to 4.
Yeah.
So like you're trying to put everything up. Just make a summary of it. Yeah.
A summary of it, exactly. Yeah, that's what we want to do today. So Adi, I know right from your youthful season, your teenage years, I know what you had today is not because of what you started yesterday, but what you began a long time ago.
True.
You are a woman of virtue. You are a focused woman.
Hallelujah.
You are purposeful.
Amen.
You are purpose driven. You are not. That's why I married you, because I saw the purposefulness in you. I saw God in you. So I want to know, what did you do? What did you know as a teenager, as a young person, that has impacted you to become who you are today as a wife, a mother, even mentor to younger ladies? Yeah. So what is it that you know as a younger person, as a teenager, that you want everyone to know about as well?
Yeah. Firstly, I want to say thank you and thank God. I mean, all thanks to God, because it's not by righteousness, but by the faithfulness of God. Yes, so I'll just say basically, it all boils down to foundation. I know that from when I was way younger, maybe I'll say 7, 8, 9, I can't remember to be honest, but I've always had this desire, I just wanted to know God. I don't know why, but there was just this hunger for God, and there was just this God, I know you're somewhere. Just almost like, Lord, reveal. It sounds somehow, but just reveal yourself to me. I know I was much young, but I knew that I just wanted God, and that was basically. And I think that's been the foundation of my life.
So you would say again that knowing God as a younger person, has impacted your life greatly.
Exactly, true.
And what would you say impacted that hunger for God at that early stage of your life?
Maybe the people around me, because I remember then when I was much younger, my mom and dad used to take me to church. You know, we didn't really know much, but we go to the children's church, and when they say, "Oh, do you want to give your life to Christ?" we run out. I was dancing. You know, I was just in the environment of, just in the environment of that God, you know, even though I didn't really know him, but I was just there. And I think kind of it must have influenced, and maybe
rubbed off on you.
Rubbed off on, yes. And maybe prayers from my parents, you know, maybe the one time in their life they actually prayed for me that, Lord, you know, this girl, let her know you. But I know that it must have come from that, because if I didn't have that that surrounding with some people, it maybe it wouldn't have, you know. But I think that was part of what affected and impacted my desire to.
So we can say therefore that if a young person must become the best he can possibly was born to be, the environment is key.
Exactly.
The kind of people you surround yourself with. And the surprising thing is no child determines his or her environment. I mean, a child is just born into a family. As a young person, you really cannot determine who comes around you.
True.
You know, or where your parents take you, or who your parents are, and all of that. But whatever surrounding you find yourself determines your future. It influences you.
True.
Either positively or negatively.
True.
And so therefore, if you're a parent watching this, the environment that your children find themselves goes a long way to determine their future. I mean, just as we know, the fish has an environment, and that environment is water. If a fish comes out of water and falls on the land, it will struggle. So there is an environment where an healthy young person can be developed. A purpose-driven youth can be formed. There is an environment. And that is what we've been talking about. You know, one of the things I said about foundation is that a young person must surround himself with knowledge, with right knowledge, right information. As a young person, if you are fortunate to know that this is right and this is wrong, it's a big blessing for you, because it saves you from mistakes and errors. So environment is key.
And I was even going to say, true, absolutely true. And I was just to add up to what you were saying about environment, because some people say, oh, environment, you know, it's not like, can be places too, but also, I mean, what you expose your children to, like the kind of friends. I mean, sometimes if you, as parents, you notice a friend of your child trying to pull that person down. Negative people that try to pull your children down, or maybe, you know, people that don't value, you know. So the kind of this is part of what we're talking about, environment. You know, you see it but you just want to ignore it. It's really, it has a lot of impact to play on how a child grows up to be at the end of the day, because you might say, oh no, she's not putting it down, but you know, you can never know how much of that,
how much that is impacting the child's self-image, self-awareness.
Exactly.
Aside from the parents, even you as a youth yourself watching, you as a person, you should be conscious of what surrounds you. A little child may not have that understanding, but obviously when that child begins to know what right environment should be, then he gets that understanding, he or she gets that understanding. When you tell a little child that let no one talk you down, if you see anybody who talk you down, leave their environment, leave their presence immediately. That is a way to impact knowledge into that child, that the wrong place to be is where you find someone who talks down at you, who doesn't believe in you. If anybody says, who shows some kind of disbelief in you, know that person is the wrong environment to be around. So as a young person yourself watching this, know this for sure, that you cannot grow better than the kind of environment you find yourself. And part of such environment is people People, not just places, but people. What people say about you.
Yeah.
Do they say
Absolutely.
positive things or negative things about you? Do they glorify your mistakes? Do they see into your future and say things that are positive, things that God has said about you, or do they focus on your past instead of focusing on your future?
True.
What kind of words are being spoken around you? Is it abuses and curses instead
Yeah.
of blessings? I mean, what kind of supportive system do you have around you? Do you have people who are willing to invest in you?
True.
People who are willing to take you by the
Celebrate
hand,
you too.
celebrate you. People who see you do good things and they
Yeah.
celebrate you in public, not just those
Yeah.
who celebrate you in private and then keep quiet in public. People who are willing to celebrate you, people who believe in you, they trust you, they are willing to put their weight behind you to make sure. I mean, these are the kind of environments you need to find yourself as a young person.
Yeah.
All right, Ade, another question I want to ask you is, when exactly can you say that, oh yes, I connected to God, I surrendered my life to Christ and I became serious with God? At what age was that and how did it happen?
Like I said earlier, childhood, you go to church, you give your life to Christ every Sunday, and all that. But I'll say when I now grew older, because I grew older, as a teenager, you have some funny attitude, maybe stubborn sometimes. I rededicated my life when I was a teenager. I think I told God that, what, Lord, I surrender to you. I knew that I wanted to give God my all. And that was almost like the beginning of a great change. So what I'm trying to say is that, see, you might not have been born in a Christian home, you might be born in wherever home you come from, doesn't define who you are. I mean, it's your decision. You have to make a choice about who you want to be in life. So forget the fact that, okay, yeah, I've come from a Christian home, but that doesn't make me, to be born again, to really have a relationship with God. So it's your choice. Are you willing to give God that part of your life? Are you willing to let go and let God? So basically it's not really so, because some people might give an excuse that, oh, you're lucky, you came from. It's not all about that. It's all about making a decision. It's a personal decision you make yourself to want to follow that path and have that faith in God and trust in Him.
That's good. We've talked about connecting to God, about the place of purpose. As a young person, how easy is it to really understand? You don't understand everything at once. Sure. When we talk of purpose, it unfolds as you obey is an instruction. You get to see something bigger about your purpose in life. So it always unfolds, and that's our purpose. But as a young person, how would you say you understood what God has for you? How would you define your purpose during those seasons at that time? Is it through music or anything?
Yeah. So from when I was young, I've always noticed that I like writing. Like I could take a book and write it in another book. I used to love writing, because I have a lovely handwriting anyway. But I used to notice that I would write from one book to the other, that I remembered that. Then I used to write songs. It just comes to me without even, with effortlessly. And I used to love.
And you discovered, you recognized or realized those traits as a young person?
Yeah, I actually recognize those traits. I'm sure when I was 8, 9, 10, I can't remember to be honest, but I'm very sure that when I was young, I recognized that I used to write songs, because I used to go outside and just sing. I just loved music. I can't say I'm the best singer, but I loved music. I really loved music.
And it's still what you love to today.
Exactly, yes. Yeah. So I loved music and I loved writing, and I used to like dancing, doing all this choreography thing, So yeah, that was basically.
And the good thing is that Ade's putting together a book that will be published very soon.
Amen.
And and it's been what she has always wanted to do, even before we got married. So it's coming to pass very soon. Now, I love what you said. Now, that means that for our young people, it is important and necessary that they have a realization of something they have on the inside of them as young as they are. You must discover, you must recognize. You don't need to know everything about purpose or about it, but you must be able to say, this is something I love to do. You must recognize a gift in you, a passion. I also love to sing, and I've been singing right from my teenage years. I loved it. I knew I was gifted in it. You get what I'm saying? And just like my wife as well, in your teenage years, in your 20s, you should be able to point and say, I know I love this. I love this. I love this. I have passion for this. I have this gift. I have this talent.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? That is the starting point for any young person that will start living a life of purpose, because you must accept, you must discover something in you.
Yeah.
And that's what we are here to let you know, that it's so easy and so possible to discover purpose, discover God as a young person, and also to discover your purpose on time.
Yeah, so I was going to say something too, like, just in case you feel like, okay, I really don't know my, maybe you're saying, do I really have a talent, do I really have a gift, or maybe you're not so young, like maybe you're in your mid-20s and you still feel lost in a way. I mean, don't feel lost. The only thing you need to do is just to go to God and ask Him, and you first of all ask the Lord, that Holy Spirit, just help me, just show me what you want me to do. And also take time to, be conscious about the things that you do, because sometimes these talents we're talking about is in the little things that you might just, ignore. Sometimes some people are very good in organizing things. They just see themselves picking up things from the floor, putting things in place. They have that talent. Maybe they are supposed to be an event manager like that. So these are things that you might not even realize that you have. Okay, music is easier to spot music because obviously it has that thing, but there are some little things that God has placed in you that you don't even know that you have it. Some people are good in listening to people. You might be a counselor that you don't even know, and this is part of discovering your purpose. So and talents, because it's not easy to listen to someone that has to run for maybe 3 hours. You must be so talented to have a listening ear. And there's so many things that you can really, really discover if you just put yourself under God. And it doesn't matter if you feel like, oh, I'm not so young. Age is nothing in the sight of God. The most important, start from where you are.
Yeah.
That's what is most important, and God will help you.
Yeah. Beautiful one there. As a young person, know something about something unique. So as you're watching as a young person, can you list 5 things that are unique about you, that you're good at?
Yeah.
An ability. It could be anything.
Yeah. True.
That you are good at. That when you do it, it will add value to people. It will make somebody else better, or even make you much better yourself. So we've been talking about this because we feel this kind of knowledge are the foundation that a young person needs. And so quickly, let's talk about the role of parents and the role of parenting in creating an enabling environment for the development of our young people. Because this can never be overemphasized. The role of parenting is key. That can either make or destroy a person's life.
Sure.
So Adi, what do you have to say?
Yeah, I think basically we've said, I know it's not an easy role, to take that responsibility. It comes by the grace of God. But yeah, it's something as parents, it's our responsibility to really help your children to become all that God has.
And it's not just limited to school. Sending them to school.
True.
There's so much more outside that.
Yeah, and even like I remembered in your episode, within that episode 1 and 4, when I watched it, you talked about knowledge. Even as parents, even helping these children, because sometimes, let me tell you, sometimes like now you can love music, but you just need a little bit of polishing. Oh wow, you see your child singing, or you see your child just playing with an instrument. Maybe you went somewhere, you saw the child just pressing the instrument or the keyboard. It's your duty to really spot that, because the truth is that God placed you as a caretaker over them, and it's your responsibility to spot the little things. People just, I feel, to be honest, parents are the ones that are even supposed to spot. What do you think?
Of course. Someone said that if you must train up a child in the way he should go, you yourself should have gone that path before.
Yes.
coming, because you, as a parent, our job is to foresee, to look into the future of a child and then train them along that
Along
path.
that path, yeah. So
But-
when you see them do something like that, I mean, you should be able to say, oh wow, you noticed that. Well, let me get you a keyboard, because the truth is that sometimes just buying that keyboard can just put that passion that was not
And
even
develop
there.
it from within.
Yeah. Because and let me tell you, these things they go a long way. Like, I'll give an example of my brother. I used to try to learn how to play the keyboard, even though at the end of the day I didn't really. My parents tried to put us in some training, but obviously my sister was getting it more than me. I just backed off somehow. But later on, I just feel like I could play the keyboard. You know, I just had that feeling because I loved music, and I could actually.
Good hearing.
Yes, good hearing, and I could actually compose a song with music like it. You know, so I just got that keyboard, and it was at home, and you know, my brother was just there. He just taught himself, you know. Now
And today is a teacher.
yeah, so
himself.
he was self-taught. But I just thought about it that, you know, what if the keyboard
you're
was
not-
not in the house, you know? So there was something that put that interest in him. So that's what we're talking about, like parents. I mean, if you see your child just play with Dolly's hair, you can just say, okay, do you want to learn how to,
How to
make
play
it?
it,
Because in all of this, there's no how that child will not discover, one or two things that is gifted, in doing. Some children are good in designing clothes, fashion. They just like you just see their books, you see on paper, they're drawing stuff. That's a key point. That's like a spotlight to know that, wow, so you're navigating them towards God's plan for their life, even without you even knowing. So these are little things that parents just feel that, oh, go to school. It's not just about go to school. Yeah, school is amazing, but spotting out these things, because God has created them, like you said, uniquely.
Yeah, and the truth of the matter is, school, as good as schooling is, your gifting is what will make room for you.
Absolutely true.
Your
True.
gifting is what will bring fulfillment to you.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's most especially good when you now study, when your studies or your education is in line
You
with your
gain more
giftings.
knowledge.
With your
Amazing.
exactly.
Imagine
you know.
that.
So,
Oh my
so
goodness.
in line with what Diola said, as parents, we have a lot to do if we want our young people to grow up to become responsible and relevant people in the society. Because we have to determine to give time, not just time to be together, time to study them,
Yeah.
time to, prayerfully study them, prayerfully watch them, and prayerfully support them. Many grown-up people today would have gone farther if they had support from their teenage years, or they had people who saw their giftings. And the truth of the matter is that most of the celebrities today had parents who
They had
helped them.
guidance, some sort of guidance.
You want to talk of Bill Gates? Bill Gates began to fall in love with computer at the age of 13 years. Who bought a computer for him? He, of course, his parents.
True.
Ronaldo began to play football before he was a teen. You get what I'm saying? As a young teenager, the mother was there to help him.
Yeah.
And today we celebrate him. Look about Tiger Woods. All those people had parents who were there around them to support and to help them out. And we don't want you to wait until when they are grown up. But when they grow up, they have the right to make decisions for themselves. Even at 18 years of age, you may not be able to tell your child what to do anymore.
Yeah, true.
But right from their teenage, from their teens, 12 years, 10 years, you have an opportunity to influence them.
Yeah.
Compared to when they grow older.
True.
I want you, as a parent watching, to please,
For parents to be too.
and parents to be.
Yeah, you
if
can
you're
also
go-
learn from
yeah,
that too.
parents to be, know that you have a lot of work to do,
Yeah.
and we trust that God will help you to make it happen.
Yeah.
And we'll talk more about that in subsequent episodes, talking about the role parents play in developing their children.
Yeah.
And yep.
Yeah, so some people don't like if you, I mean, when we talk about parents, it's also talk about carers, because some people don't have parents, maybe like they're orphans and stuff. But I mean, some sort of guardian. If you're watching us today, you're not, maybe you're just a guardian to someone. I mean, you're also, I mean, God has also placed you as a, giving you that responsibility towards that person. So you might be a guardian, you might be a carer, whatever role you're playing in the life of that person that is younger than you. Know that God wants you to have a way of helping that person discover who he wants him to be, or who he wants her to be. So yeah,
and parenting is not just for biological fathers and mothers. I mean, whatever, if you're in a position to influence anybody,
yeah,
you
absolutely,
are parenting them already.
absolutely. True.
If you have any, you're a pastor, you're a teacher in school, you're already impacting and influencing people. So it's not, so if you're an orphan, you don't have a father around you, a mother figure,
Yeah,
don't feel discouraged.
yeah,
Look out for people that you would want to be like.
yeah.
Look out for people that you feel you can learn from,
Yeah.
and start learning from them.
Yeah,
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Seek out mentors and role models, people that have achieved things that you can know what they did, know whatever principles they obeyed, and follow suit. And you'll be shocked. There are many people who are orphans today who have
Great
come out, who
people.
have become great people,
Yeah.
and successful in what they
Yeah,
do.
true.
You get success is not limited to whether you have a father, you don't have a mother, but that you can learn. You are willing to
Yeah.
learn from people ahead of you
Yeah.
that are not even in any way connected to you.
Sure.
All right.
absolutely.
So I believe you've learned one or two things today,
Yeah.
and we want to thank you for listening to us. And we believe you have if you have any questions, any comments, kindly put them on the comment section. You can send us your questions. You can email it to us at contact@femicotton.com. And also we encourage you to subscribe to our channel, and also share this with every young person that you know,
Yeah.
every parent that has young people. Let us help our young people. We are in a generation today where young people are going astray, and our job and our passion is to bring them back on the path of God, on the path of righteousness, on the path of purpose. And we hope you're blessed anyway. Any last word for them?
Oh, you said it all. It was truly amazing to be, I mean, part of today's BARY program. And I mean, just speaking, I have been blessed myself. To be honest, I've been blessed, because I mean, you can never stop. The day you stop learning is the day you start dying. And even me, even us, we recently even had to go through some training, voice training. So you keep learning, you know, we keep wanting to know more. I mean, apart from that, we have other trainings, not just music alone. We have other trainings we do, just improving, adding more value to ourselves, you know. And that's just the amazing thing. I'm truly blessed by this program, and I'm sure you are blessed. Thank you so much for watching.
So thank you, and we hope to see you next week again,
Yeah,
as we continue this special edition.
yeah.
God bless you, and remain blessed.
Bye.
Bye for now.
Become a relevant youth. BARY.